on their content next week, and that is that I have accepted a position with Ceramic Coating Incorporated as the fractional marketing director. And what fractional means is not full-time. It is going to be a part-time position for me, but it is going to be a paid official position with the company. And with that, I'm pretty excited about it because, you know, CPD has had a really good relationship with CCI ever since they started. And there's a lot of things that we're going to try to tackle really quick with it, like some of the communication issues. Thank you, my friend. There's the company has done no marketing at all. They've totally, and they've done really well for it, but they have totally relied on just the products to bring the company forward. They've done no email marketing, no ads. Their website it's a free Shopify template that can be greatly, massively improved. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm not shutting down my detail shop. I'm not shutting down CPD. In fact, I'll actually have time to go harder on CPD because I'm going to be in the coming months slowly but steadily reducing some of my detailing schedule. And I'm also going to be accepting absolutely nothing but coating jobs and maintenance anymore because I just don't have time for it. So I'm not going to be doing any detailing at all, even for current customers. So it's just a transition and I'm looking forward to it. But I wanted to be transparent, clear, let everyone know what was going on. And that's going to be, you're not going to see a whole lot of legs to this for several weeks, maybe even a month, as I have to build out a lot of marketing infrastructure for them that just simply doesn't exist. But fortunately, with a lot of the automated tools out there, it's going to come along pretty quickly. So today we're going to be talking about restart. Hold in here. So what is restart? What am I talking about here? Restart is actually a new program that I'm developing for CPD. And this is going to be a guided system that helps detailers see what is wrong, fix the most important parts in the correct order, and more importantly, always know what to do next. Because one of the things that's gotten muddied in detailing content, especially like business content, is that a lot of it is just all over the place. And there's never like a streamlined process. And I'm gonna take you a little bit behind the veil first before I get deep into this, okay? I've done coaching one-on-one with hundreds of people. I have known hundreds and hundreds of detailers, probably thousands, that I have corresponded with, that I have chatted with, talked on the phone with throughout the last decade that I've been in kind of the content world of this. And I'm going to give you some brief insight in this. Most detailers struggle because they don't really have a sense of control over their business. And I'm not talking about the detailing. I'm talking about the numbers, their marketing. They're very confused as to what marketing works and doesn't work. And we see a lot of detailers that like they have their act together, but I'm going to challenge you in this. Because I know a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people that live by the fake it till you make it mentality. They're not doing as good as they say they're doing, but they look great on Instagram. I mean, they've got great content, great videos. I knew personally of a gentleman, and he lived in Oregon, and he went bankrupt when his shop was doing over $700,000 a year in sales. But on the outside, if you didn't know him, if you didn't know what he was struggling with and what he was dealing with, on the outside, everyone looked at his business and thought, dude, this guy has got, like, he is ripping through this. He is doing fantastic. So what I want to challenge you with is what I'm calling the bucket analogy, because we're detailers, we use buckets. If you have a 5-gallon bucket and you pour water into it, but there are holes in the bottom of the bucket, you can pour water into that all day, every day. It's just going to run out the bottom of the bucket. Most detailers are struggling because their business is like that bucket and they've got holes in the bottom of it. And all their effort, all their focus, all their attention is just pouring out the bottom because they've got these holes that they need to fix. Now, one thing I will say, you are in the right place if you want to be around detailers that do have it together. I would say, and this is a freaking anomaly in the detailing industry, because we have a lot of new detailers. We have part-time detailers. We have detailers that are kind of in the struggling phase of the business, the first 1 to 3 years. But we've also got a good 20 to 30% of our members that are freaking gangsters in the detailing industry, that they are killing it, consistently running solid, operationally sound businesses that you could look at their QuickBooks or whatever they use for accounting and see that these people have their head together. That's an anomaly in the detailing business. If you go into one of these like detailing groups that has 100,000 members, maybe like 1% of those people might have a fraction of that. But that's also because we attract people that are looking for greater business skills, and they're not sitting there like distracting themselves online arguing about pressure washers and crap like that. So most detailers do not have an information problem. They don't have an information problem. This is the great thing about AI, is that it has made information free. Information is free now. You can get on there and be like, AI, chatbot, Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, whatever you use. It doesn't really, they're all very, very similar. It's more of what's it's tuned to you. Build me a SWOT analysis of all detail shops within 30 miles of me. It'll crank it out. Give it a couple minutes. It'll crank it out and it'll be good. The information is not hard. I used to, whenever I started my business, doing a SWOT analysis took a long time, because you had to like have people that you knew like call up the other detail shops and see what their prices were, because it wasn't all online. It wasn't all, you couldn't just ask a chatbot to go grab all that data for you and bring it back to you. Nowadays we can't. So information is free. Most detailers are struggling right now with too much information. What most detailers are really struggling with is that they have a clarity problem and they have an implementation problem. They know 100 things they can do, but they don't know what needs to be fixed first. They don't know what they should do tomorrow morning. So that's what we're doing here. Restart is about plugging the biggest holes first, and then slowly plugging the rest of them so that your business can hold water. Now, I'm going to take you through the 7 steps, and I'm actually going to have a actionable worksheet on here. It's a Google Sheet. You actually click when you're done with this, okay? It's super, super simple, because you know how I love clarity. Okay, and just follow through me with this. If you're watching this and you're like, well, I have this step taken care of, or I have that step taken care of, that's cool, because there's still going to be some stuff that's very relevant no matter what level you're at in business. The first one is going to be to know your numbers. Now, the CPD Financial Command Center, that thing's awesome. You can build a really, really good P&L with that Google Sheet. and it automatically fills in all the percentages, all the margins. All you do is put your revenue, you put your expenses, you put your owner's pay, it spits out what profit margin you have, all that other, it actually builds you a really strong P&L. You can do this if you started it September 1st. By October 1st, you would, I mean, you can always backlog into August and do it over again. But if you started September 1st until October 1st, you would have a crystal clear vision of your money. Now, everyone like watches stuff like this and they're like, you got to be kidding me, man. People don't even know their numbers. You would be shocked. You would be shocked how many detailers I've talked to and be like, what'd you do in sales last month? I'll have to get back to you. Had no idea. Had no idea what they even did in sales. And if you don't know what you did you don't know what you're bringing in, you have no idea what's going on. No idea. You're totally shooting from the hip by that. So number one step, fix your numbers. Know your numbers. You cannot fix a business you can't see. And what you see in a business is numbers. You can't go forward blind. If you do that, you're always going to be shooting from the hip, struggling, and you're never going to mentally have a knowledge of what's going on in your business. Step 2, and this is the one I love so much. Simplify your services. This doesn't mean only sell one service. I'm an outlier selling a very, very, very restricted level of services. It doesn't mean only sell one service, 2 services, 3 services, or whatever. What it does mean is simplify it, and you can ask these 3 simple questions. Does it sell? Is it profitable? Do I want to keep it? If it answers no to any of those, fix it or remove it. And I know that so many detailers, they have detail packages that, you know, they haven't sold one in 2 years, but it's some sort of sacred cow to them. And they absolutely refuse to just 80-20 rule their own business and say, hey, I'm getting 80% of my results from 20% of my efforts. If I got rid of all this stuff that isn't even producing anything for me, my whole offer would be clearer. There would be less hesitation. There would be less buyer paralysis, and I would make more money. A lot of detailers won't do that. You're going to have to get past that. You're going to have to get past that. I worked retail for many, many years, and I had a no movement list that I had to go through every single week. And if products weren't selling, we either re-merchandise them. In other words, we put them in a different position where it was more visible. We looked at maybe if there was a seasonality factor, like if it's still, 90 degrees outside and your winter merchandise comes in and no one wants a heavy coat when it's 90 degrees outside. Okay, that's reasonable. But if it was well merchandised, if it was seasonally correct and it wasn't selling, they scrubbed it. They got it off the shelf and they brought something else in. That was just the standard in retail. You don't let things sit on the shelf that don't sell. And we as detailers need to do the same thing. If we have services that are not selling, we need to scrub them and get things on the shelf that will sell. So you have to fix your services. You have to simplify your services. And you have to know what the purpose of that service is. I don't have 3 levels of detail just to have 3 levels of detail just because that's what detailing businesses do, is we have 3 levels. That's stupid. It's the year 2026. That is like early 1990s thinking, where I have this massive menu and I let the customer figure it out. That's garbage. It's garbage. It's not only garbage, but it's totally outdated, and it doesn't function in a society that's built around very low attention spans, very high convenience, and very high information availability. They don't want to read a menu and figure it out for themselves. They want you to be the expert and figure it out. So this is going to be done when you know what you're leading with, you know who it's for, and you know what it accomplishes, and you know what it costs. So one of the challenges that I'm going to put for you in here when it comes to simplifying your services is to lead out with a primary service for the next 30 days. You don't have to go down to one ceramic coating. You don't have to go down to just one detail service, but I'm going to challenge you very, very strongly to lead out with one, to make a primary offer that you sell everything else around. I'm going to challenge you to do that, because if you do that, you're going to have less customer hesitation and more clarity, and then you can build everything else around that. So let's say you lead out with your primary detail package if you're not that huge into coatings yet. Well, you're going to get residual inquiry from that. Every time I run a ceramic coating ad, I get window tint inquiries, and I don't even do window tint, and I get detail inquiries. Why? It's just residual interest, because they connect that to the other things that you sell or might sell. So you're going to have to fix your services. That is and simplify them. It's an absolute must. You're going to build your business system. I'm going to tell you what marketing is. Marketing is not ads. Marketing is not sales. Marketing is not promotion. Marketing is not referrals. Marketing is all of those things. Marketing is the strategy you use to help your ideal customer know you, trust you, and buy from you. So you're going to implement all of those things in order to get them to know you, trust you, and buy from you. But you have got to figure out who your ideal customer is before you start to build their trust. So you're going to have to build a system around that. And we're going to call it the Daily Five. And I'm getting more into that as the actual work gets released and I record the content for this. So you're going to actually build a system to target a specific end user that is your ideal customer for this. Now, there's a fear factor in this. The fear factor is, if I just target a very, very narrow niche of customer, I'm going to lose everyone else. Remember what I said about residual interest. So there's going to be people that want window tint, detailing, PPF, blah, blah, blah. Just because you built an avatar for ceramic coatings, if that's your primary offer, that doesn't mean you're not going to get that residual interest. And that doesn't mean there's not going to be outliers also. But you might say, my primary ceramic coating customer is aged 45 to 65. They're either retired, a small business owner, or a highly skilled professional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can actually build a list. It's called an avatar, which exemplifies who this primary customer is. And then your marketing, your ads, your copy, the way you talk on camera in your content, it's all going to be set up in a way that they understand so that you can sell specifically to them. And anyone else who latches on during this, more power to it. That's just going to add to it. But you are going to get very hyper focused on your ideal customer so they can know you, trust you, and buy from you. It's absolutely essential if you're going to hyper focus on a primary offer, especially if it's a higher end offer. This whole thing of, probably 10,000 cars a day go down this highway that I live in front of here. Every one of these cars can be one of my customers. Technically, yes. In reality, heck no. Absolutely not. Most of these people, 98% of these people are wholly unqualified to come in here and purchase a $1,500 to $2,000 ceramic coating. Wholly unqualified. They either don't have the interest in it, they don't care about it, they don't have the disposable income. There's a million reasons why they aren't a good fit for my business. But that 2 out of every 100, 1 out of 50 that drives by, those are the people that I'm looking to target to, because they actually have the means, the knowledge, the interest to buy from me. Those are the people that I focus on. Improve the right skill. That's going to be the next step to this. Don't try to be a master at everything. A lot of detailers, entrepreneurs get stuck in this. We want to try to do sales, marketing, pricing, finances, and communication. We want to try to tackle all these skills and become masters at them. You don't need perfection. You need proficiency at these skills. And then when your income level gets high enough, your sales level gets high enough, you either raise your prices and start making more as an individual sole detailer, and you enjoy your solitude, or as you scale, you hire people who have higher levels of skills than you have time to develop to take care of these things for you. So you just need, when you get started in this, you need proficiency in bookkeeping, like just QuickBooks or something like that. You need proficiency in that. Once you get to a certain level, you hire a bookkeeper because they're going to be better at it, faster at it. They're going to be more efficient at it, and they can do things with it and see things in it that you'll never see. Why? Because you're not trying to become a master bookkeeper. You're trying to be proficient in it until you get to the level to where it makes more sense to hire someone who has more skills than you. Advertising, marketing. Oh, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, because detailers will often, if their ads or their marketing isn't working, specifically their ads, they think that just ads are marketing. But like I said, marketing is all the things we do to bring customers and to reach customers. But specifically, if their ads aren't doing well, you'll have detailers that are bringing in $6,000 a month in revenue. Listen, that's barely making it. Like, that's barely survival level. I'm not knocking that. Everyone starts somewhere, okay? $6,000 a month is survival level in a detailing business. Like, you may be making enough to pay your bills and cover your overhead. And then they're going out paying $1,500 a month for a marketing agency to run their ads. It's a way to go bankrupt. It's a way to go bankrupt, because what's going to happen if you're not doing all the other things that are included in marketing is that you're going to be spending $1,500 a month, sometimes plus ad spend. They're charging you $1,500 just to manage it, and you're paying another $1,000 in ads. And if it doesn't start to produce, not only are you screwed, what's the marketing agency going to say 99 times out of 100? We just need more budget. Just give us more budget. We'll take care of you. Proficiency. If you would take a day to learn how to run ads and spend 2 hours a week improving that skill, you would be, in 2 months, very, very proficient in running Google ads, Meta ads, stuff like that. You're not going to be a guru. It's not going to be like Hunter Zarkozy level. I forgot the name of his marketing agency, but you're not going to be at that level of advertiser. You're going to be able to produce. What's that?
It's Admodo for Hunter.
Admodo. That I was trying to think about it. It was something else when he very, very first started. I think then they changed it. That you're not going to be at that level, but you don't have to be at that level. You need proficiency, and you need to build that one skill until you get production out of it, and then you move on to the other skill. And then once your sales get high enough, hire Admotive or whoever else that you trust in to run your ads for you. But you also, and this is very important, you have enough knowledge that you can peek into what they're doing once in a while, because you should 100% hold a company like that accountable. You can peek in once in a while and say, are they doing a good job? Is this actually producing? How much time did they really spend, tweaking and improving my ads this month? Asking, for them to work for nothing, but like, you got to make sure you're getting your money's worth if you're paying an agency like that. So that skill will help you to even protect yourself later on. So you have to improve the right skill. Protect your time. That's going to be the next step. Don't scroll your phone. If I could nutshell this, don't scroll your phone during working hours unless it's something business related. If you're pulling out your phone to record a video or to post a video or to take pictures of your work or to call a customer for follow-up, all well and good. Don't entertain yourself while you're working. That alone could literally, most detailers free up hours of productive time every single day. Pull out that phone whenever you want to turn on your Audible audio book about sales or communication or marketing, whatever. You can listen to it while you polish paint. That's what your phone is for when you're using it professionally. It is not for endless scrolling and entertainment. Because let's be very, very honest, that's what it is. It's entertainment and it's distraction. And it is literally let's say in theory, you could make $100 an hour in what a lawyer would call billable hours. So hours that you actually work and you actually get paid for per week. Do you know how many detailers are spending 3 to 5 hours plus a day on their phones, scrolling, entertaining, arguing, stupid crap like that? You're literally burning thousands of dollars. It would be a great video, but I'm not crazy. It would almost be a good video to take a little metal bowl, take $1,000 and burn it. Just an example of this is what most detailers are doing by sitting there on their phone, filling themselves with distractions every day instead of actually working on their business. So the next step in this restart program is going to be to protect your time. And we'll get into time blocks also. A time block, there's a book called The One Thing. Excellent book. And it talks about how to create a time block. And a time block is like, for instance, I have some time blocked out to work on some CCI stuff tomorrow. And it is a focused time where I don't do anything else. I don't answer the phone. I don't feed the cat. I don't work on cars. I don't pull the wife's expedition in to give it a quick wash. No, it is focused, dedicated time that I don't do anything else but grind on the one task I'm working on. That's further down the road, but the first thing most detailers need to do is to remove the distractions from their time. The next one is to create accountability. Now, the best real world way to do this is to find an accountability partner, another business owner that is at a similar level as you are, that they have the time to commit to it. And you have literally a 15-minute phone call every single week on a scheduled time and say, hey, you doing crap the way you're supposed to? And that's about it. You can talk about your wins, your losses, your struggles and all that, but it's really an accountability partner, because things like that, it sounds weak to someone who hasn't done it before, but it is an incredible tool to keep you on the straight and narrow and keep you functioning the way you're supposed to function in your business. So creating an accountability partner is great. Little trick you can even do. You can even use an AI agent for this. You can go into ChatGPT or whatever it is you use, and you can say, I want you to be my accountability partner. I want you to send me a reminder every day at 7 a.m. or whenever you get out to your shop, whatever, and hold me completely accountable for my actions the previous day. It knows how to do that. That's probably all the prompt you would really need if what you use for AI uses that. And it would probably be harder on you than a real person. A real person's going to be like, yeah, I get it. It was just a crap day. Move on. Do better next time. It would really understand that. The AI chatbot's going to be like, listen, loser. You can even teach it to be like, I don't particularly react well to this, but some people do. You can even teach an AI chatbot and tell it to be a butthead and be like rude and harsh to you. Like if you're one of those people that reacts well to hardline criticism, that could even be useful for you. I don't react well to that. I'm like, no, I don't want to be treated like that. But some people react well to that. And if that's you, then do what works for you, but find accountability in your business. Create accountability. You don't need more motivation when it comes to accountability. That motivation is fleeting. I can listen to some hyped up song and feel pumped and motivated and excited, and then step out my shop and stub my toe, and all that motivation instantly evaporates. Motivation is fleeting, okay? What you need is a system that notices when you stop doing the simple, everyday tasks that are necessary for you to succeed. That's why you don't need a motivation partner. You need an accountability partner. And the seventh step of this is going to be grow with proof. Growth is something that numbers confirm, not something that busyness suggests. Have you guys ever known people like this? I've known a lot of people like this. That they were super, super, super busy in life, but they never actually really did that much.
Hello?
Hello. We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. I was talking to a customer.
You're good, brother. A lot of people are busy. It's easy to be busy. The whole phone scrolling thing. You can sit there and burn hours every day on your phone, and you will feel busy. If you argue about pressure washers or ceramic coatings or paint polish or pads or whatever all day long on the internet, you will feel busy. That ain't growth. Growth is when you can verify it and confirm it through numbers. That last month I did $14,000 in sales. This month I did $16,500 in sales. And my expenses went down by $800. That's confirmed growth. It doesn't go by what you feel. No one gives a crap what you feel. You can't confirm growth by what you feel. That's done nothing. It's like going to the gym, and because you feel like you're getting stronger, saying, oh, I'm getting stronger, it's all working. Well, what's the scale say? What does the body mass index scale? What do the actual weights say? Oh, how much? You realize that this is why, like, professional bodybuilders and people that do fitness competitions, CrossFitters, stuff like, you realize that's why they walk around with like a notebook. Nowadays, it's probably more like a fitness app, and they log what they do. Why? Because it tracks it. Okay, last month, my 1 rep max on deadlift was 465. This month, my 1 rep max on deadlift is 480. That is a confirmed growth and progression. It's not just I feel good. I feel strong. I feel like my business is growing. I feel like I made more money. My schedule looks busier on my Urable calendar. It looks busier. Who the crap cares about that? I mean, you can fill a schedule with $200 jobs and it looks really, really big on a scheduling app, but that doesn't mean that you're making as much money as if you were filled with, three $2,000 jobs every week instead of 12 $200 jobs. Numbers confirm that. And you want to confirm growth through numbers. Like with the CCI marketing thing that I'm doing here, we're going to confirm growth through numbers, not by feelings. Why? Because the numbers don't lie. And it's all really simple, especially with e-commerce. E-commerce and products, it's really easy to confirm growth. How much did I sell last month? How much did I sell this month? With a detailing business and a service-based business, it's much more intrinsic, and you have to get past that, and you get past that implementing the numbers. So this is going to be I'm gonna go over the daily 5 real quick. But first of all, I'm going to summarize this, and this is what the restart program is going to be. You know your numbers. You can't fix a business you can't see. You simplify your services. Confused customers hesitate. Confused owners scatter their efforts. You build your daily business system. And remember what marketing is. Marketing is not one specific thing. Marketing is the overall strategy. Marketing is a strategy used to help your ideal customer know you, trust you, and buy from you. You're going to improve the right skill. Your current bottleneck is going to be what you need to learn next, but you're going to learn one skill at a time, and you're going to get proficient at it. You're not going to become necessarily professional or an expert at it. You're going to become proficient at it so you can function in your business. You're going to protect your time. Being busy and building the business are not the same thing. You got to get the distractions out first, and then you have to focus your time much, much better. You're going to create accountability. You do not need more motivation. You need a system that notices when you stop. Motivation is fleeting. You don't need a motivation partner. You need an accountability partner. And then you're going to grow with proof. Growth is something that numbers confirm, not something that busyness suggests. Oh, I'm growing. Yeah, you're busy. And oftentimes with detailers, just telling you, I've done this for a long time. It's distraction that they're busy with because it helps hide the fact that things aren't going. So this is an example of the engine that's going to kind of drive this. The 7 steps are going to help you repair and organize your business. And the daily 5 is what's going to keep the business moving after you go through the 7 steps. You're going to become visible. No one can buy from you if they don't know you exist. That's actually become a very common saying in the business world. I've heard a lot of other people jumping on board with that because it's so like hits you right between the eyes. But when I first learned that, it wasn't very common knowledge thing, and it's gotten more proficient, and it's a very good thing. You have to be visible. You have to get in front of enough people. You have to be known in your local market. You have to do follow-up. Follow-up includes not just, oh, someone left me an e-form last night inquiring about a PPF job, but I'm going to follow up with these people through email marketing, through retargeting ads. I'm going to touch back into the people who were interested, but the timing wasn't right, the pricing wasn't right, for whatever, maybe life happened, their kid got sick or whatever. I'm going to reach back out to those people consistently and constantly, and I'm going to follow up with them for as long as they want to be in my marketing system until they make that decision to buy again. Reconnecting, a little bit more, it's a little different than follow-up. Reconnect is when you're going to actually directly reach out to people and spend more time building relationships than just throwing them in automated marketing. And you can even do that with your current customers, like take your best 50 customers, send them a personal, not group, a personal text message. Be like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for having me do your Tahoe last month. If you ever need anything else, let me know. That's reconnection, and that's personal, and that's powerful. They will remember that for years because it shows that you actually cared. Show proof. This is a thing of you proving your products, your services, your skills are what they say they are. You can share a review. You can share a finished vehicle. You can share your process. You can educate on what your coatings do, what they don't do, what your PPF does, what it doesn't do. You can show behind the scenes process. People love seeing behind the veil of businesses. It's super, super powerful. Ask for the business. Ask for a review. Ask for a referral. Or present a new offer and ask for the business. These are going to be the daily 5. You're going to do this stuff every single day, even after you fix the holes in the bottom of the bucket. So I'm going to be creating I'm kind of torn. You guys give me the feedback on this. Would you rather have one video that's broken down into sections where I showcase the workbook and walk you through all of it? Or would you rather have 7 shorter videos where I go across each section? What would be more time efficient and more likely for you to actually be like, hey, this is great. I can start working on this now?
I would say the 7 shorter videos. That way you can do it at your leisure and you don't have to remember where you're at.
Okay, so that you could actually work through the steps. One video broken down. There's no reason why I couldn't do both. It would probably just be a little faster to do one or the other, but we could probably do that. In fact, I could even do one longer video, and then we could cut it into 7 videos and then have both options. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we can do that. I can make both camps happy with that, because that would be just more of an aspect of video editing than anything. We can actually do that. So I'm gonna hopefully get all the recording done tomorrow, and then start working on the editing. I've got a great recording software that I'm actually behind my live stream on Google Meets. My phone is recording this also, and it actually like auto creates clips and stuff like that. It's freaking amazing. You can use it for detailing stuff. It's called Riverside. And oh my God, like it's really designed for more like podcasting and stuff like that. But I've done plenty of like walk around my shop video. It'll auto caption it. It'll enhance the audio. It's freaking amazing software. Like I'm happy to pay that $30 every month for that subscription, because it does so much. Like I'm going to hit the stop button on this whenever we get done here in a minute, and it'll start auto producing reels and clips for me out of it. Like auto producing it. It'll say reels made for you, and it'll have 12 different reels that it'll make out of this 40-minute long video. Hooks, all that other stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get working on this. If you guys have any recommendations for how this would help you, I'm all ears. I'm more than open to it. You guys have a great week. We will talk to you all next week.
Thanks, Mark.